some of the headlines involved with injuries with the bird scooters.
Do you want to see your child on the next headline?
Hello, Board of Directors of BIRD. We're a group of concerned VCU students and have noticed the impact on our campus due to your scooters. My name is Clay.
My name is Brant.
I'm Brandy.
I'm Carlitos, and we are here to talk about the necessary safety equipment and regulations that you need to apply to your bird scooters around the nation. Now here is a quick video highlighting the dangers of riding your bird scooters.
Two people riding scooters in downtown Nashville are injured in a hit-and-run crash. The accident happened at Union Street and 5th Avenue North around 5:30 this evening. The women were riding bird motorized scooters. Both women were taken to the hospital and one had potentially life-threatening injuries. Nearby business employees checked security cameras in hopes of finding a vehicle description for police. One witness says the driver ran a red light before hitting the victims.
That's just, it's sad. It's just really sad, you know, that somebody would do that and not even think twice to stop and care about what they did. You know, it's sad, it's really sad.
The suspected vehicle's bumper remained on the scene after the accident. A spokesperson with Bird Scooters released a statement shortly after the crash. It reads, in part, our hearts go out to those impacted by the car accident today in Nashville. Rider safety is a top priority at Bird, and we will work closely with law enforcement on the investigation. We posted the entire statement on newschannel5.com.
And as you can see, you said safety is one of your top priorities, but that is obviously lacking on all your bird scooters. For example, there's no equipment that is needed to ride your scooters. You literally can just hop onto any one that you find on the city if you're registered on your phone. But we're thinking that you obviously need to implement mandatory helmets because, like you saw, 2 people almost died due to just riding your scooter downtown and getting hit by a car. And helmets are obviously one of the first things that are going to be needed. We were thinking that you could partner with a helmet company and have them attached to every scooter, and it's already electronic, and we were thinking that you could just hook it up to the app and have it all Bluetooth oriented, and the scooter wouldn't even start if you don't have your helmet on. Also, your scooters have no lights on them, so if you're driving or riding them at night in the city, they're already black, so they're not even seen on the street by any means. Also, there's no reflective light on them, so we were thinking that you could add reflective stickers that you see on most bikes. And obviously, all these things are already required legally if you're riding a bike in the city, so I don't know why they're not implemented on your scooters from the start. Also, we were thinking that you could add a speedometer because they can reach over 15 miles per hour, which is faster than you can drive in any parking lot in America. So it's kind of interesting that you can drive them on a sidewalk with pedestrians across the whole city. Also, we were thinking that you could promote these new safety tips through your social media platforms to get out that you will be implementing these new things so riders aren't confused when they hop onto a scooter and they realize that they need to be wearing a helmet or all the new features that are going to be guaranteed with the scooters. Also, we were thinking that you could have student ambassadors on campus that you could hire through VCU that would be keeping track of the student riders, making sure that they are using the helmets, and if not, there could be fines or something that could be associated with that to just keep students reliable on that. Also, you should add a guided tip list on your app because when you ride your bird scooters, everything is through your phone. So maybe like a quick test before you do your first ride, making sure that you know the safety laws on the streets, like you stop at a stop sign, because a lot of scooter riders literally just don't think that any of these legal actions on the road affect them just because they think they're mainly on a razor scooter, but everything should apply like a bike does to them. And Brandy is going to discuss some of the regulations that we think we need to be enforced as well.
Yes, just like what Clay said before, they should require a helmet and a speedometer and the other 2 items for safety. And also what he said about social media, it would be better if for you guys to promote safety on social media apps like Instagram or Twitter, because I mean, teenagers are reckless. So if the company itself promotes safety, the teenagers will be influenced. And we also did a petition by concerned VCU students, other concerned VCU students, also wanting these equipments to be required for safety when they're riding bird.
Now, I have a somewhat personal story to share with you guys. Hopefully you can imagine with me. This is about my friend's uncle. Now, imagine you guys are my friend, and you have your uncle, and you're trying to figure out how the bird scooter is working. You get your phone out, go in the app, and you apply your credit card to it, everything's fine. But sooner or later, he starts zooming, and he's swerving through the pedestrians, telling him to get out the way, but your bird scooter doesn't make any noise. And at 15 miles per hour, he goes and hits a tree. With a head injury and some broken ribs, he had to stay in the hospital for 6 weeks. This could have been easily avoided if you implemented some safety.
Now, in regards to regulations, bird scooters are looked at by the federal government like lawnmowers. They shouldn't be on the roads, they're not legally allowed on roads or sidewalks. Because of the safety that we've gone over, they also are not legal for that reason. They need to have reflectors, lights, etc. All of this for because it's a motorized vehicle. It's not considered a bike, it's considered a motorized vehicle because it moves. So drivers also need a license in order to drive bird scooters legally. However, Birds has no way of looking or seeing whether someone riding their scooters have license. Bird scooters are also not allowed to go over 15 miles an hour legally through the federal government. And bird scooters do not have any permits. So they're illegally parking on sidewalks, which is not allowed. That's public sidewalks. They can't be putting their business on that sidewalk. So they need permits to put their bird scooters somewhere.
Now that you heard what we said, we hope what we said has influenced you to actually do something about your company and implement what we've said.
Adjust your policies and provide safety for all bird riders.
So we've gone over the safety and regulations that birds need to go over in order to become legal.
Give your customers the safest ride of their lives.